When we activate our hearts, then we actually start to magnify what we want. So in Joe Dispenza's book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself and Creating a Whole New Mind, a book that I have given to many of my clients, he talks about the fact that every emotion that we have has a different megahertz. And so you got high vibing emotions that are happiness, joy, gratitude, love. They vibrate at a higher level. They can now measure that. Emotions of the heart, right? Then lower vibration, competition, lust, hate, those are lower vibe, and they can actually measure that. And so what we want to do is we want to tap into those emotions of the heart that are of the highest vibration. Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about 4 ways to harmonize your heart and your brain financially. It's like, what? My heart actually goes into my financial decisions? I know. It's kind of an oxymoron almost, because so often we don't actually take into account the human heart when we're making our financial decisions. But we are all human beings, and so it's an important component to bring along the way, and we have to harmonize it with our brain. Otherwise, what happens to us is we wind up in this battle between our heart and our brain, and it creates all this disconnect inside of your system. And I'm going to share these 4 tips with you because it's really important for us to get in harmony. Tip number 1 is that we want to recognize, truly deeply recognize the connection between our heart and our brain. And it starts with this concept called coherence. Now, there's an organization called HeartMath, and you can find them at heartmath.org. They have done all kinds of research when it comes to the heart-brain connection. So HeartMath, in their research, have realized that the human heart actually has a magnetic force that goes up to 8 miles long, but here's the thing, our minds only go for 2 feet, and they've got all the research behind this. So when we actually only make our financial decisions from our logical brain, then what happens is we're forgetting the most important component that's going to actually bring into us what it is that we desire in our life, whether it's a different financial situation, different relationships, or our health. Because as you guys know, if you've heard me talk, we always do that we either work things out or we act it out, and we do it through our money, through our health, and through our relationships. So it's really important that we start to look at this heart-brain coherence connection. So when we activate our hearts, then we actually start to magnify what we want. So in Joe Dispenza's book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself and Creating a Whole New Mind, a book that I have given to many of my clients, he talks about the fact that every emotion that we have has a different megahertz. And so you got high vibing emotions that are happiness, joy, gratitude, love. They vibrate at a higher level. They can now measure that. Emotions of the heart, right? Then lower vibration, competition, lust, hate, those are lower vibe, and they can actually measure that. And so what we want to do is we want to tap into those emotions of the heart that are of the highest vibration, because then you're not going to get mixed results along the way on your financial path. So how do we harmonize that? We harmonize that by actually connecting what we feel and what we think and what we speak all along the way. So now I just want you to recognize that. And if you need to go down the research path and go check out some of this research from HeartMath or Dr. Joe Dispenza, by all means, let's satisfy that ego mind and get you to number 2. So step number 2 is I need you to harmonize in your physical. So what happens is when we are hijacked in our nervous system, so anxiety, fear, you name it, right? If our nervous system is hijacked, you have to physiologically actually shift that. How do you do that? Well, there's a couple tips and tools. So there's this thing called havening as an example. So if you're sitting there, and you may want to do this in a business meeting, but I'll give you another one for a business meeting. But you're sitting there and you're going, okay, I can tell my nervous system's hijacked. I got triggered by whatever's going on in the world. And so what I need to do is I need to drop back into my heart because I'm right now up in my brain and I'm in anxiety mode. So how we do that is havening. Havening, cross your arms, and I just want you to go down 20 times. 1, 2, 3. Do that 20 times. And I know you may feel a little silly doing this, but I am telling you, you will not harmonize your heart and your brain in your financial decisions if your nervous system is hijacked. We have got to get your nervous system in a state of neutrality. Because when your nervous system is hijacked, what you actually do is you make decisions from your limiting belief patterns. All those patterns that hardwired into your amygdala in your subconscious brain that actually creates your suffering patterns. Because remember, based on the work from the biology of belief, Dr. Bruce Lipton, he has proven from a biological perspective that 97% of our experience or reactions to the outside world actually come from our subconscious mind that was fully developed by the time we're 7 years old. So when your nervous system hijacked, if you want to keep repeating the patterns that you've done financially, well, then make decisions in your brain from a hijacked position. But if you don't want to do that and not keep repeating your financial past, then I need you to get your nervous system into a state of neutrality. So you can start to rewire your subconscious mind in a new, healthier state of neutrality position. All right, so let's go to tip number 3 in how to harmonize your brain and your heart when it comes to making financial decisions. The third one is, I need you to trust your gut. I know, it's like, wait a minute, but I got to make the right decision and I want to make sure. But you know all the financial right answers in many instances in your life. But you can't take the step forward because you're like, like there's some angst or some other inside of you that is sitting here going, but. And it's like, just no buts, no coconuts. All right. Let's actually know, like truly know, that trusting your gut is actually a good thing. But our highly educated and trained minds and our entire system these days is not set up to add your intuition and your gut into your financial decisions. The problem is that we're not showing up in the world with authenticity and in our truth. So what do I mean by that? I mean the fact that you're not always speaking what's true for you because you're trying to monitor and measure of the audience that you're speaking to, and should you and shouldn't you, and like we get into this monkey mind, it's like right? But we're not trusting our gut. Do you know there are more neurological messages that go from your gut to your brain than any other place in your physical body? Yet, that's the piece that we have not actually honored or taken into consideration, or even we've overrode it for years. So the third tip to really actually start to harmonize your heart and your brain, you've got to trust your gut. Because what happens is when you trust your gut, you drop into your heart, and then your brain will kick in after that, and it'll make all the right decisions. Now let's go to number 4. Number 4 is, let's actually go through a meditation, if you will. So again, this is a gift from Heart Math and the work that Greg Braden has done with Heart Math. Again, Greg Braden is another one. If you need the proof and you need the science behind this stuff, he's another great one to check out. And we want to apply this here into your financial world. Why not? We can apply it into our personal world, into our health, and why not our money? Because the money is actually just the result of everything else going on in your life. So this meditation is really simple. It could take you 3 minutes a day, and it will absolutely harmonize your heart and your brain so you can make very sustainable, healthy financial decisions. I've put a couple links below so that you can get my book, Awaken Your Wealth, for free. All you have to do is pay for your shipping, because there are more tips and tools in there to get you to a place that you love in your life and that you are thriving with lots of joy, happiness, and gratitude. Thanks, everybody.